So, good morning and welcome to my class. And today we are going to study chapter 6. And the name of the chapter is This is Jodi's Fawn. This is a beautiful, very touching story about a young boy who shows his kindness, his generosity, his love towards the young one of a deer known as fawn. So it's very touching story. Let us read. See, Jodi's father has been bitten by a rattlesnake, and to treat himself, his father uses the heart and liver of a young doe, a deer, and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. To remove the poison of the snake, his father uses the internal organs of a deer. Jodi wonders what will happen to the little fawn left without a mother. Jodi, as a boy, he feels what is going to happen, what would be the fate of the young one of this deer who is left without a mother. Let us read the story. Jodi allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. Jodi allowed his mind to think about the child of the deer who was left in the forest without mother. He could not keep it out of his mind. He could not keep the thought of the young fawn out of his mind. He could not resist thinking about the young deer. He had held it in his dreams in his arms. He had held the fawn in his arms, in his lap, in his dreams. He has thought of taking the young deer in his arms. He slipped from the table and went to his father's bedside. So he came out of the table on which he was sitting and he went to his father, who was ill, who was resting because his father was bitten by a deadly snake and he was recovering from the poison of the snake. Penny lay at rest. His father was laying, resting on the bed. His eyes were open and clear. Eyes of his father were open, they were quite clear now, but the pupils were still dark and dilated. But still the inside of his eyes, his eyebrows were still dark and dilated. The inside portion of his eyes were still a little bit enlarged, bigger in size. Jodi asked, "How are you feeling, Papa?" Jodi went to his father and asked how he was feeling. "Just fine, son," he said. "I am feeling fine. I am recovering." Old Death has gone thieving elsewhere. His father said that Death has left him and gone somewhere else. Means he was saved. But wasn't it a close save? But wasn't it a very narrow escape from death? His father said he had a very narrow escape from death. Or his life is saved. I agree, the boy said. Father said, "I'm proud of you, boy." His father said, "I am very proud of you. the way you kept your head and did what was needed. I'm very happy that you kept the presence of mind and took a right decision at the right time and kept yourself calm and at peace. In these difficult situations, you showed your peace. That is important. Pa. Then the boy said, Papa, yes, son, yes, dear. Pa, do you recollect the doe and the fawn? The boy asked, Papa, do you remember the deer and its young one? Do you still remember? I can never forget them. His father said, I can never forget them. The poor doe saved me. The poor deer saved me, my life. That is certain. There is no doubt. I am saved only because of the deer, the organs used by me. Pa, the fawn may be out there yet. He said, Papa, the young deer may be out there yet. Still, the young child of the deer, the young child of the doe must be out there. It might be hungry and very scared. The child of the deer must be hungry. It must not have got any food and must be very scared, must be very afraid because its mother was dead. I suppose so. The father said, I also think so. The child said, Papa, I'm a big boy now. I'm a big boy now and don't need to drink milk. I do not need to drink milk now. As I'm grown up now, I do not need milk. Why don't I go and see if I can find the fawn? Why don't I go and find out the young child of the deer and bring it here and raise it? That why should not I bring it here at home and we can look after it? Father lay quiet, staring at the ceiling. His father was in a thoughtful mood. He was laying without any movement. He was looking hard at the ceiling of the room. Boy, you have got me hemmed in. He said, Son, you have caught me in a situation where I cannot say no, or I cannot deny you now. It won't take much to raise it, Papa. The boy said, it will not cost much to look after it. It will soon start eating leaves and acorns. Very soon, the deer would start eating leaves and other vegetations. You are smarter than boys of your age. His father said, Son, it seems you are smarter. You are more intelligent than any other boys of your age. We took its mother and it wasn't to blame. The child continued, we killed the mother of this child. We killed the mother of this fawn and it wasn't to be blamed. And there is no fault of this young deer. Surely it seems ungrateful to leave it to starve. Son, I can't say no to you. His father said, Yes, we cannot be ungrateful to leave it to starve, leave it to die of hunger, starvation. If we will leave this young deer in the forest without attending, it would be very, very ungratefulness of us towards the animals. So I cannot deny you. I never thought I would leave it to see another day. After the snake bite, I never thought to survive, but I am alive today, and this is only because of the deer that we killed. Can I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it? Can I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it? So, Millville literary means something different. Here it refers to the horse and the horseman there. If I can find it, tell your ma I said you can go. We said, tell your mother that I allowed you to go in the forest with the Millville and find the fawn. He sidled back to the table and sat down. He sidled back to the table and sat down. He slipped down the table and he sat down. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. His mother was serving coffee for everyone. He said, Ma, Papa says I can go bring back the fawn. The boy straightforward told his mother, Mother, Papa has asked me to go and bring back the young deer. She held the coffee pot in midair. She was surprised. So, the process of pouring coffee stopped midair and she looked at him. What fawn? About which fawn you are talking? About which deer you are talking? The fawn belonging to the doe we killed. The child said, the young one of that deer that we killed for Papa's sake. We used the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Papa. The child explained, I am talking about that child whose mother was killed by us. We used the liver and other parts of that deer to draw poison out of Papa's body. She gasped. She was surprised. She could not speak anything. Well, for pity's sake, she started saying, let us out of kindness. And the child said, Papa says it would be ungrateful to leave it to starve. He said, Papa says it will be very unworthy of us to leave the young child to die of hunger. Dr. Wilson said, this another person present there, that's right, ma'am. That is correct. Nothing in the world comes quite free. There is nothing we can get in the world that is free. The boy is right and his daddy is right. He also supported, Wilson also supported and said, we do not get anything free in the world. The boy and his father are saying correct. Millville said, he can ride back with me. Millville said, and the boy can ride back with me. I'll help him find it. I'll help him to find out where the young deer is. She set down the pot helplessly. Mother has no other way, so she placed the pot of coffee on the table. Well, if you will give it your milk, we have got nothing else to feed it. The mother said, Dear Jody, you need to give your milk to the young one of the deer because we do not have anything else in the house to feed it. Millville said, come on, boy, we have got to get ready. Millville said to Jody, let us ride. We have to ride and find out. Mother Baxter asked anxiously, very worried. She asked, he will not be gone long. And she said, I think it will not take you long to come back. Jody said, I will be back before dinner for sure. And Jody assured his mother that he will be back very soon, before dinner. Millville mounted his horse and pulled Jody up behind him. Millville sat on his horse. He also pulled Jody up behind him. and rushed. He said to Melville, "Do you think the fawn is still there? Will you help me find him?" He asked if he feels that the young deer is there only at the place where they killed their mother. "We will find him if he is alive." "How you know it is he?" Melville said, "We will find him if he is not dead." And he asked the boy how he found out that it was a male child. "The spots were all in a line." The boy said the spots on the body of the deer were on a line. On a dove fawn, on the young one of a deer, Papa says the spots are every which way, in a different way, different directions. So, this way, this is part 1, and the boy Jody and Melville both are in search of the young child of the deer.